Hey, what's up guys? I hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to speak about the second part of motorsport photography mistakes every beginners make. First mistake we are going to have a look is the preparation. Not prepping for the photo shoot. We go shoot, edit videos, send it to the client, and that's it. We forget, and then we repeat the process every time we have a new shooting. But we forget to check the camera, to check the lenses, to check the batteries, everything. So what I mean with the preparation is just make a list of the things you need to do in the day. You need to cover if you need a special shot or if you need anything you want to try, to test it, to improve your skills, as well as make a list of the equipment, the gear you are going to need, how many lenses you are going to use, how many microphones, how many batteries, how many memories. Then you're going to be prepared and avoid any mistakes. It's not only making a list of the shooting you need, it's not making the list of the gears you need. You need to check the lens are clean, doesn't have dust, doesn't have fingerprints. You know, when you press the lens, you leave some fingerprints as well. And as well, when we interchange the lenses during shooting, can get dust into the sensor. So make sure the sensor is clean as well. If it's too dusty or anything, you just use a pump. I have it here. When the sensor is too dusty, just use the pump to get out the dust. If it doesn't help and if really dirty the sensor, I recommend to go to the professional that cleans the sensors. And the next thing we need to check is the batteries. We have enough batteries, the spare ones, fully charge the batteries, and we have empty our memory card as well. I think other than that, just clean your LCD screen, viewfinders, check if you have the filters. Clean the filters as well. If you need ND filters or polarized filters or any other filters, clean as well. Just check everything, the gimbals, the tripod, everything you need to, and then you will be ready for the shooting. Not shooting in RAW. So make sure you check as well in which format file you're going to shoot, if you're going to use JPEG or if you're going to use RAW. I always shoot in RAW. This gives me more advantage at the moment when I'm going to edit the photos, because the RAW is an uncompressed file that retains too much information. It retains information about white balance, exposure, saturation, sharpness, whites, highlights, shadows, and much more. So that's why I always shoot in RAW, but not all the times we need to shoot in RAW. So then the JPEG is a compressed file. This compress everything. Then if you want to edit the picture, it won't be as easier and smooth as using a RAW if you're going to edit the pictures. The thing is, between the RAW and the JPEG is a lower size file and the RAW is bigger in size. So basically the RAW files, it has between, let's say, 15 to 20 megabytes, and the JPEG has between 2 and 5 megabytes. That's why some photographers use RAW plus JPEG just for the backup. Other photographers, if you have two slots in your camera, they use two memory cards. They use one memory card for the main storage and then the other memory card as a backup. So in that case, you can have both sides, the backup and the main memory card, in the same RAW files, or you can have RAW and then you have a JPEG. In my case, I use two memory slots, but one is for videos and the other one is for photos. Getting back to RAW and JPEG, the easiest way I always mention to try to explain, and maybe you can understand much better, we are going to compare the RAW and the JPEG with food. So imagine you're going to make a dinner and you go to the supermarket, but then you have two options in the supermarket. You go to the fridge and you will find too many options for microwave preparation. You choose one of those, and then you go to your home and you put in the microwave, you heat it, and then you have the dinner. So that is a processed food. That is going to be the JPEG. So basically you have everything ready just to heat it, and that's it. You don't have to control what spices you want to use. You can tweak a little bit the food, you can put a little bit more chili, more salt, any other ingredients, but you cannot make it special, you cannot make it as your own, because the food is already processed. So that is the same thing with JPEG. The JPEG is compressed and is already to go. So basically you shoot and you send it, you deliver. And then the RAW files, as it says RAW, imagine you go to supermarket, the same thing, you're going to make the dinner and then you buy all the ingredients you need. You buy vegetables, meats, rice, potatoes, whatever you need to prepare the food. Then you go home and you need to chop it, you need to mix it, you need to blend it, you need to add spices, whatever you want to in the food. You prepare it as you wish to, because you have all the options of the food. You can mix whatever you want to. So it's the same with the raw files. You have all the options for you just to mix it, to blend it, and to prepare it and to use it right. Speaking about editing, the third mistake is over editing, because the photos looks great, the photos are amazing, and we want to enhance the color, we want to enhance the sharpness, the contrast, the exposure, the shadows, the brightness, and everything. But then we add too much into the photo, we exaggerate the values of saturation, vibrance, and sharpness. The photos doesn't look real anymore. For this, we need to really careful and make our tweaks and make it our own style, our own colors, or how you want to edit the pictures, but don't over edit the pictures. So be careful with this. And remember, when you shoot in cars, the owners of the cars wants to see the real color of the car. It's the same when you're shooting people. You want to just look after the skin tones. You don't want to see people looking green, blue, red, or yellow, because it's going to look unreal. It's going to look like they are sick or something like that. So it's the same with cars. We need to just make sure we keep the color of the car real. Now, to take great pictures, we don't need the latest gear, the latest camera, the latest lens, the latest microphones, or anything like that, just to take great pictures. I used to see these photographers with telephoto lens that I say like, wow, that looks amazing, looks professional. I want one day one of those lenses. Finally that day came, but that is not history. So I saw those photographers and I think myself like, if I have that lens, I will take much better pictures. But that is not the reality. The reality is that doesn't matter what gear you have. If you don't know how to use it, you won't be able to take and make great pictures, because the most important thing is your skills. You craft your skills, your knowledges, your experience with camera, with situations, and going to photo shoots, going out, take pictures, make sure they have difficulties or challenges, and get over those challenges every time you go for a photo shoot. That experience and that knowledge that you acquire during a photo shoot, that is going to evolve and is going to get you a much better photographer. So basically, imagine this: you don't know how to drive, and then you want to have a Lamborghini, a Ferrari. Let's say I buy a Porsche. So then I don't know how to drive. The car has too much power that I don't know how to control it. I don't know how to make the shift right. I don't use the car as much as I know, because I don't have any knowledge. I don't know how to drive. I don't know which roads I like to go with the car too. So that's the same thing if you buy a really expensive camera, gear and everything, but you don't know how to use it. But then you buy this Corsa, you buy the cheapest camera, and then you start learning in the process. You start learning how to shift, you start learning how to wheel, how to brake, how to get out of difficult situations, how to get out of challenging when you go to a roundabout, or if you have to avoid an accident or a car. It's the same with the camera. You learn how to use the settings, the exposure, the shutter speed, how to interchange the lens, which lens is better for you and which lens suits you better for any situation, what type of photography you want to do, and what equipments you need to. So you need to get first what you have in your hands. You can use your phone. Now these days the cameras on your phones are great, and just start learning with that, just start practicing with that. And then when you have the opportunity to buy a camera, just get a camera, improve your skills first, and then you will be able to know what camera suits you better for what field you're going to do. If you're going to do motorsport, if you're going to do sports, wildlife, portraits, weddings, whatever you want to, every field of photography, they are different, and every field of photography, they need a different camera and they need a different lenses. Not all the equipments are right for a job you are going to do. So make sure you first learn your skills, you improve, and you know what you want to do it. and then you will know which camera and which lenses and which gear is going to suit you better. And speaking about motorsport photography and telephoto lens, because you see too many motorsport photographers using telephoto lens, but then we get too excited. I get too excited because with the zoom lens I can get really close to the action, I can get really close to the cars, to the drivers, that I forget how to use the composition. I forget how to show what is around the car and what is happening in the moment. That I get too close that you can see even if the driver is smiling or not. Don't overuse the telephoto lens. Just learn how to use it as your advantage, and use it when you need it. That zoom lens is not really good for pits or when you're going to back dogs. In that case, it's too close to the people, it's too close to the action. I have to be really far away just to be able to capture the scene and to capture everything. Sometimes I use it if I want to just capture something specific, but not always is the right lens to use it in the pits. In that case, I just swap the lens to 24mm lens or 50mm lens, and that is going to be great, it's going to be good, because I can just shoot the people in the pits much better. I can have everything around. And when we shooting pictures, we taking photos, the next mistakes, shooting vertical. What happened? We set our minds that we need to shoot vertical because we are going to post on Instagram, and then we start shooting everything in vertical and we miss too much opportunity. Remember, when you use landscape or shooting horizontally, you always can crop the picture and make it vertically, and you can get much advantage of using horizontal picture because you can then use it on website, on your YouTube thumbnails. If you have a YouTube, you can use it for magazine, press, any other things. So I always shoot horizontally, and then depending on the situation, then I just flip the camera and take the picture vertically. But the rest, I always do horizontal pictures and just then crop it as I need it in post-production. Checking the pictures on the LCD screen. We know the LCD screen on the camera is really small, so when I take pictures on the field, I regularly check the pictures now and then, just I make sure the pictures are right. Don't trust too much on the LCD screen on your camera because it's too small and you cannot really see what is happening in the shot. You might see the composition, but you won't be able to see if the photo is in sharp or if have the right motion that you want to. So what I do is just check the picture and then zoom in to make sure it's in sharp and to make sure I have the composition I want to. And then if it doesn't have the requires I need to or the things I want to take, and then I just take the time and retake the picture. If you prepare well for the shooting, you will be ready and you won't miss any opportunity. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you like this video and learn a lot. I'm really happy sharing with you all this experience and knowledge that I have. If you haven't watched the part 1, just go and check it out here on the link on the top or in the description below. Subscribe if you don't know, hit the like button, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.